刻むぜ! I'm on the beat!
The JoJo series has been running for 35 years now, and has been spread far between manga, anime, movies, and plenty of other forms of media. JoJo's bigger than it may seem, and there's a lot of pieces of trivia out there that most people don't seem to know about. So here I'd just like to go over a list of interesting things that you may not know about JoJo. Did you know that Noriaki Kakuin's first name was originally meant to be Tenmei? In the JoJonium Volume 12 interview, Araki says that when he originally wrote the kanji for the name, he meant for it to be read as Tenmei. But his editor misread it as Noriaki, and that's the name that it was later published with. Araki decided to leave it be, and says that maybe his parents named him Tenmei, but his friends call him Noriaki. That's not the only character who's had a name change, however. A lot of characters and stands have had their names altered over the years. Kakuin's Hierophant Green was actually originally named Hierophant Emerald. In the original release of Weekly Shonen Jump in 1989, the stand debuted with its original name. A few chapters later, when Kakuin leaves for Egypt with the group, the name was changed to the one we know today. Subsequent reprints of the earlier chapters were updated to change the name as well. The stand of the turtle, Coco Jumbo in Part 5, was originally given the name T-Rex in a 1998 interview with Araki. A couple years later, in the JoJo A Go-Go art book, the name of the stand was changed to Mr. President, the name that it's known by today. In Part 6, the stand Planet Waves was originally named Earth, Wind, and Fire. This is a name that was already given to the ability of Mikitaka from Part 4. In later releases, Westwood's stand was renamed to Planet Waves. The stand Made in Heaven was named Stairway to Heaven in the original release. This was later updated with the volume releases. In Part 8, Kei Nijimura's name was originally listed as Kyo. This was apparently a typo that went unnoticed for quite some time, and it wasn't until Volume 24 of JoJolion that it was changed to her proper name, Kei. Kei's stand Born This Way also went through a name change. It was originally named Going Underground, after a song from the English band The Jam. In the release of Volume 4, the name was changed to Born This Way. However, a remnant of the original name can still be found in the manga, with Kei's design sporting the original initials of the stand on her hat, even in her later appearances. Did you know that the Runaway girl in Part 3 has a name? If you're someone who has seen the anime, you may have already known that. In the original manga, the character now known as Anne was never actually given a name, and was just known as the Runaway girl. In the drama CD adaptation of Part 3, she's called Bad Girl. A producer for the JoJo anime approached Araki and asked him to give her a name. In the anime, she's known as Anne, but Araki actually gave her a full name that went unused. Her full name is Merlai Anne. This is a pun based on the iconic landmark from her home country of Singapore, the Merlion. Did you know that Araki briefly considered having Whole Horse join the group? In Part 3, he thought about having Whole Horse become a permanent ally, even drawing him together with the group on a chapter cover as a test of this concept. He eventually decided against it since he felt his ability was too unbalanced and that he was too similar to Polnareff. Did you know that Charles Martinet, the voice of Super Mario, has actually appeared in JoJo? He provided the voice of Senator Wilson Phillips in the English dub of the Stardust Crusaders OVA. Did you know that Araki has created designs for a video game? The 1991 game Famicom Jump II: The Strongest 7 is an RPG featuring various characters from Shonen Jump, including Jotaro and other Part 3 characters. It has two original enemies that were designed by Araki. One is called Man-Eating Cactus, and the other is called Omnipo. Did you know that every member of the Nijimura family is named after the kanji for the powers of 10? The Oku in Okuyasu's name means 100 million. The Cho in Keicho's name means 1 trillion. In JoJolion, Kei's name means 10 quadrillion. But that's not all the Nijimuras out there. Did you know that Okuyasu and Keicho's father was actually given a name? In the credits of the live-action movie, he was called Mansaku Nijimura. The Man in Mansaku means 10,000. However, since the Mansaku name doesn't seem to have been provided by Araki, it isn't considered canon. In the spin-off light novel George Joestar, there are actually 2 more Nijimuras, who originate from an alternate universe. The first is Muryotaizu Nijimura, whose name can be read as either 10 to the 68th power or 10 to the 88th power, and the other is Fukushigi Nijimura, whose name can be read as either 10 to the 64th power or 10 to the 80th power. Did you know that there's a species of tardigrades named after the stand Love Deluxe? It's called Neostygarctus Love Deluxe. It was named by 2 Japanese scientists in 2013 who thought its hairy appearance made it look like it was being affected by the ability of Love Deluxe. Did you know that Giorno Giovanna was originally planned to be a woman? In the early stages of planning Part 5, Araki considered having a female protagonist. At his editor's suggestion, this idea was abandoned, but some aspects of the female character may still remain. According to one of Araki's editors, Giorno's Japanese name, Haruno Shiobana, is feminine, which may be a leftover from the female version of the character. He also says that Gold Experience's power to create life may have stemmed from the fact that the character was a woman. Did you know that the pilot inside Aerosmith has a name? If you look closely at Aerosmith, you can see a silhouette of a pilot inside the cockpit. In a 1998 interview, Araki was asked about this pilot, and he says that its name is Smith-san. Did you know that Fugo was originally planned to be an enemy spy? In Part 5, Araki was going to include an arc where Fugo was revealed to be a spy and Giorno would have to fight and kill him. However, due to his depressed mental state at the time, Araki decided not to include this, and so he had Fugo leave the group instead. Did you know that Araki provided illustrations for the Japanese release of the Alex Rider novel series? The first 6 books released in Japan from 2002 to 2007, and all feature covers and multiple illustrations drawn by Araki in his signature style. Did you know that Steel Ball Run was not officially marketed as a JoJo part until it moved to Ultra Jump? When Part 7 first debuted in Shonen Jump, the editors decided to not include the JoJo branding to try and attract attention to it as a completely new series. Once the series moved to the monthly Ultra Jump, the JoJo title was put back. According to Araki, despite the name change, he was always writing Steel Ball Run as the 7th part of JoJo. Did you know that Johnny Joestar is the only main protagonist who hasn't been seen with the Joestar birthmark in any media? In the original manga, the Joestar birthmark wasn't introduced until Part 3, so it isn't seen on Jonathan or Joseph before then. However, in the 2012 anime adaptation, it was added in. Jotaro, Giorno, Jolene, and Part 8 Josuke all show their birthmark at some point in the story. In the Part 4 manga, Josuke never actually shows his birthmark, but a scene was added to the anime that shows it. So Johnny is the only main character left that has yet to have his birthmark portrayed in any official media. Despite it not being shown, it has actually been confirmed that he does have the birthmark. Did you know that Araki once drew a cover for a scientific journal? The peer-reviewed journal titled Cell is published twice monthly. In the September 7, 2007 issue, 2 Japanese scientists identified a protein named Scrapper that regulates synaptic activity in the nervous system. The findings apparently have helped aid Alzheimer's disease research. Araki's art, which was drawn with direction from the scientists, depicts Scrapper as a humanoid reminiscent of a stand ability, placing heart-shaped ubiquitin proteins onto red rim proteins. Did you know that Josuke's stand Soft and Wet originally had a different ability? Before Part 8 began, Araki planned on giving the stand the ability to attach screws to objects. He changed the idea and gave the stand its bubble ability that we see it use in the manga. The screw ability was later given to Joshu's stand, Nut King Call. Did you know that the names of the female Higashikata family members in Part 8 are based on playing cards? Mitsuba's name means clover or club, Hato's name means heart, and Daya's name means diamond. The last one is Tsurugi, whose name means sword. In some versions of the classic deck, a sword or pike is used in place of the spade. His name may be a reference to him not fitting in with the others since Tsurugi is actually male. Interestingly, the mother of the family, Kato Higashikata, is especially playing card themed. Her stand, Space Trucking, has the power to place things between cards of a deck. Her name, Kato, may be based on the English word for card. And even her age, 52, refers to the number of cards in a deck. That's all I have for now, but if you have any other JoJo fun facts that you'd like to see me talk about, Comment them down below and I may make another one of these videos. A few of these topics I also covered in my video on Araki's scrapped ideas for JoJo. I just took some of the major ones from there since I would have felt bad leaving them out. But if you want to see some more ideas that Araki had which never made it into the story of JoJo, check out that video. If you want to be updated on new videos and chapters, join the Hum and Beat Discord using the link in the description. To receive rewards like Discord perks and some uncut videos, you can support the channel on Patreon. And finally, for future videos, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. This is the part of the video where I thank my $5 and up patrons. Thank you to Tony, the Owl God, Alex Ramirez, Doorbell, Monkman, Ashton Joseph Miller, Crayon, Rigo Vids, Zukato, Shane Giger, Sentai, Pumpkin Doge, Marrow, Bailey Smile, Ali, Almighty Quarth, Oof, PBA SVG, Cowrie, Jojo Agogo, Tucker Gold, Halil, Cake, and Gatlin Grove.